After you Azure Arc enable your Azure VMware Solution servers, integrating with other Azure native services becomes easy. For our next integration, we'll enable Log Analytics. Log Analytics is a tool in the Azure portal to edit and run log queries from data collected by Azure Monitor Logs. From within Azure Arc, select a server that's been Azure Arc enabled, and let's add the Log Analytics agent extension. Enabling the Log Analytics extension for Azure Arc enabled servers requires a Log Analytics workspace ID and workspace key. For this demo, a Log Analytics workspace was previously created. When you select the Log Analytics workspace resource underneath Settings, select Agents Management. Copy both the workspace ID and the primary key to use for onboarding the Log Analytics extension on the Azure Arc enabled server. Flip back to the Azure Arc enabled servers. Select a server and then select Extensions underneath Settings. Click Add. Select the Log Analytics agent Azure Arc. When the first screen pops up, select Create at the bottom. Copy and paste in the workspace ID and workspace key so the Azure Arc enabled VM reports collected metrics and data to the right workspace in Azure. Select Review and Create after you've copied and pasted both pieces of data in for the installation. After the validation passes, select Create. Once some time passes, go to the resource group where the Log Analytics workspace is deployed. Under General, select Logs. In this example, the heartbeat table is used for a quick query to ensure VMs are reporting to the right workspace. The query language Log Analytics uses is called the Custo query language. In the query, we're specifying that the OS type needs to be Windows as an absolute match. We're then using the distinct operator on the computer field to deduplicate data and ensure both VMs are reporting to the right workspace. As the results show, both Azure VMware Solution VMs are reporting into the Log Analytics workspace to make use of both Azure Monitor and Log Analytics in terms of Azure native monitoring tools. Next, go back to the Azure Arc enabled servers. Select one server and underneath Operations, select Policies. Azure Policy evaluates resources in Azure by comparing the properties of those resources to business configuration rules. These rules, described in JSON format, are known as policy definitions. Now that the Azure VMware Solution VMs are Arc enabled, you can apply Azure policies against the VM objects to ensure all VMs meet the right configuration baseline. For the selected server, ASC stands for Azure Security Center. A number of Azure Security Center policies can be put together to form an initiative for how the environment should be configured. Based upon the Data Protection and Open Source Relational Database initiatives, the VM is compliant. You can drill down further into the initiative definition to see what makes up the full baseline. For this initiative definition, it's ensuring Azure Defender has been deployed to protect the databases on this VM. Next, let's set up Azure Update Management. Customers can lean on the Azure native tool that allows patching of servers within Azure and Azure Arc enabled servers. This solution requires an Azure Automation account. If you're not familiar with how to set that up, click on the blue ribbon at the top within your Azure Arc enabled server. Go back to the Azure portal, search for and select Automation Accounts, then select Create. Provide a name, tie the deployment to a subscription, pick a resource group, and leave the slider bar at Yes for creating an Azure Run As account. After everything is filled out, select Create. Once the automation account deploys, select the resource. Underneath Update Management, take note that you're asked which Log Analytics workspace you want to link the deployment to. It should auto-populate the subscription and automation account. Select Enable at the bottom. After enabling Update Management, you will want to manage the VMs reporting into that Log Analytics workspace. Click on Click to Manage Machines. Enable Update Management on each VM that reports into the Log Analytics workspace. Select Enable at the bottom. Update Management requires that you enable the solution for each VM reporting into the workspace in order to use the tool. After some time passes, you should be able to go back into Update Management and see what VMs are reporting as compliant or non-compliant. If the VMs have not yet been assessed, factor in some more time before scheduling any patch windows. Notice how you can filter the platform between Azure and non-Azure. This provides a way for you to see exactly what security patches have been applied and which ones still need to be applied. Using Azure native integrations like Azure Update Management, Azure Policy, and Log Analytics combine with Azure VMware Solutions to help customers by creating a great value proposition versus bringing legacy solutions into Azure for VM management and operations.